Good news of Lionel Richie coming to the Montgomery Waters Meadow.
Yeah, delighted to announce that this morning. There's been a bit of work going on in the last few weeks to get the announcement out there. He's doing a number of venues, and we're delighted that he's coming to Shrewsbury. I think it's a good act for us to have here, fits in well, and hopefully it will be a popular one for the people of Shropshire and beyond.
That's the thing that people don't see, all the little bits and bobs that have been going on in the background for a few months now.
Yeah, and this one probably couldn't have come at a worse time for me personally, just with the transfer window as well, but it's been bubbling on for the last number of weeks now. We signed a contract at the tail end of last week, and obviously we're subject to a non-disclosure to be able to say anything at the moment, so I'm delighted the news is out there now and we can start and move ahead with the planning and organisation.
Hopefully another good night of international renowned artists coming to play here.
Yeah, an American one this time as well for the first time. So, no, I think Lionel Richie, I'm hoping, will be a popular choice. I think everybody likes, one of Lionel's hits he's had. He's sold over 90 million records worldwide. So, it's another good one for us to have, and a headline artist, shall we say, that everybody will know. Everybody knows the name.
Hopefully as well, we can, fingers crossed, a good night and good weather.
Well, we must be lucky this time. I think I've said this before, but the last twice we've obviously had a bit of rain, so we're hoping and praying for a nice sunny June night on the 13th of June.
With Rod Stewart last year is quite good because we've got a blueprint in place to put the concert on. We can take the good points and the bad points from last time.
Yeah, I think we can learn a lot. We did a bit of debrief, amongst our own staff and also with the council, etc. as well, to make sure that there are things we learn lessons from certain things that didn't go as well as they should have done last year. So we're obviously hoping to put these right and make sure that it runs well. As you say, we've got a template there from how things happened last year, and we plan just to operate similarly. Obviously this year there's certain things that we maybe need to tweak. We've got Liddell to consider as well, because that'll be open by then too. So it's things like that we obviously need to adapt. But generally the concert went in the main very well last year with Rod Stewart, and as you say, all the staff are pretty familiar with how it went last year, so it's a good time for us to be able to continue what we did last year, repeat what we did last year, and hopefully it goes well.
As with all things, it's about getting information out, so put it back out. I suppose the important thing is that tickets aren't on sale from us, other than hospitality.
No, we don't want involved with ticket sales. We didn't really want that last year as well. We're selling the hospitality tickets, as you say. There's a pre-sale for the first 48 hours, I believe, to our own supporters, and then tickets go on sale. But all tickets are done through Ticketmaster. There will be a link available to our own supporters, which they'll get hopefully through email. Which allows them to pre-purchase prior to the general public sale, which starts on Friday. But all the tickets are being handled by agencies such as Ticketmaster, for example, so we won't be involved in that.
The other bit of news as well with Dean Henderson, we got the ruling through from the FA, and interesting ruling.
I need to be careful what I say here. Yes, we got the written reasons yesterday. Obviously, it's they've taken the decision. They've decided that the way I understand it, the way it seems to work is that they go on the basis of probability. If there's a probability that something happened and they think it has happened, then the commission then have the right to decide yes or no. It's not like going into a court where you're innocent until proven guilty. It's not that at all. So that's obviously come out of it. I mean, there are certain things that I'm not happy with the process. And I flagged that up at the weekend. Actually, I sent an email just looking for some answers in relation to how evidence is gathered and various bits and bobs, and obviously the fact that I've also been keen to see if Blackburn have been charged and all this. If I'm honest, at the end of the day, while you can't condone anything that happened, the fact that one of our players was pelted with or two of our players actually, because Toto got it as well, and so did Skitty when he was treating him as well. So there's something like that we obviously, I'm sure that the FA have looked at as well, and I'm sure Blackburn will be really keen to improve on how that's been handled going forward, because I don't think it looks good for them either, and I'm sure they'll be keen to make sure it doesn't happen again. I've spoken to Paul this morning about appeal, and we just don't think it's worthwhile. I think you look at the process and you think, there's a potential that they could add another game or games if they feel that we did appeal and they've already made their decision. So it's a bit of a fine line sometimes, but football doesn't always operate the way maybe a court would and such like. So we just have to abide by the rules and obviously try and make things better going forward somehow.
From that, I guess, no appeal, but the big point that from our side is just the way it came out, and we couldn't actually appeal because we didn't get the ruling, and he'd already got a game ban.
This is, again, I need to be careful what I'm saying here, but this is what's happened the last twice, and we've had this kind of circumstance when the youth team were kicked out the FA Youth Cup. You get the decision of what actually happened, but you don't get the written reasons, and they're not obliged to give the written reasons, the FA this is, until I think it's 48 hours, 2 days later. So obviously we're in a situation where they were releasing statements about Dean's punishment, but obviously we're then looking to react to it, which I can understand. Everybody's wanting to know, supporters are wanting to know, everybody's wanting to know, what are you going to do, are you going to do anything? But we actually don't have the written reasons as to why they've come to this decision until yesterday afternoon, by which time, the other thing is, had we wanted to appeal it, you wouldn't have had the written reasons to appeal it. So you could have had a nut situation that we did want to appeal that, and we got the written reasons yesterday. Meantime, Dean's missed one game, but you can't actually, how can you know whether you want to appeal something, but his ban's taking immediate effect? It doesn't make any common sense to me.
The thing for me as well is like looking at social media, because when it comes out, fans are trying to guess what game it was, because there was no mention of Blackburn, so they go, oh, it could have been this, something happened in that game, and it brings that uncertainty into it.
Yeah, it does. It does indeed. Yeah. No, I hopefully it's, you just, all you're looking for in football is transparency. We try and be clear. We even doing the videos and things that we do, we try and be transparent with the supporters and everybody else, where we can tell the truth and come out and actually say things. We will. And it's really difficult sometimes when that kind of thing comes out. And the world we live in nowadays is that something comes out like Dean's punishment or his ban, for example, and it's out there immediately. And I think there certainly should be some kind of improvement in the way that's handled. And I understand, because the FA come back and say, well, by the time somebody types up the written reasons, it's to give them a bit of time, because they've obviously got so many cases during the day, which I get that. But I just think there must be some way around that, work around, to try and improve that, because the information, they're quite happy to put the information out straight away, into the public domain, but without us we're the ones that are having to, not defend it, but we're the ones that are having to explain it, and we can't necessarily explain it.
Move on for that to keep you from getting into trouble. The other bit as well, managed to get you off your phone for a little bit, the transfer window. Tomorrow, lots of things going on in the background. I guess it's an interesting time.
Yeah, Paul's just been in there talking to the chairman and I, just going through his, some new things have developed today as well. So, it's ongoing. There's been a lot of work going on behind the scenes over the last few weeks, that's for sure. Even the weekend there was pretty full on. We've had to be very patient with certain things, trying to hopefully that they'll land. But as I say, there's a lot of balls in the air, a lot in Paul's list to try and see what, a plan A, a plan B and a plan C kind of thing as well. So we're looking at various options just now, and hopefully there'll certainly be something added to the squad before 11 o'clock tomorrow night.
And with the media today, you get names banded around, you get names coming out of certain people mentioning them, and it's always interesting to see the process of where a player could be, because their name appears in certain areas as well.
Yeah, I think, I've seen so many of them named and mentioned to us and speculated against, it must be Shrewsbury, and I think probably because of our success this season as well, they're looking at the top end of the table and saying, well, they can actually link us with a load more players because of our budget as well, kind of thing, in comparison to a lot of others. So I think, because of our own success, we're a victim of our own success in a lot of ways, that we're getting linked with almost every player that's out there and being used by agents. At the end of the day, they're trying to push their own clients, so they link them with 2 or 3 clubs and say, oh, that's such and such, such and such and such and such, and Shrewsbury are interested as well. So, and it's just to basically get it newsworthy, get it out there, and they're hoping that somebody will come in and offer more money or a better agent's fee.
The other interesting part of it, which I suppose fans don't understand, is like, you can say how the whole process works, because you could be going for a player maybe on loan for 3 months, and suddenly that could cost many 3 figures and above.
Yeah, I mean, some of the thing, because of our position in the league, this is being quite open. A lot of clubs are obviously, you're looking at loans, and some of the loans, as an example, could be that they're asking for astronomical figures if we get promoted. Which I've never seen before, obviously, because we've never been in the situation we are. But you look at our league position just now, and everybody's trying to capitalise on that and say, well, if we give you this player and you end up going up, then we want X amount of pounds. But sometimes the X amount of pounds can be quite breathtaking, to be honest with you, some of the amounts that have been bandied about this window, and we won't budge from, you know, at the end of the day we've got our budget, we know what we want to do. Yes, we'll try and get the best players we possibly can, but I think we've got to be fair to all clubs, because it wouldn't be fair, for example, to Derby County, to Max Lowe. We've got Max on loan. We've got obviously the boys from Carlton, from Norwich, and Manchester United as well for Dean. So there's other players out there we've got on loan who don't have astronomical figures, that if we get promoted, if we do this and if we do that, and it's only fair to everybody that we're consistent with the rest of the clubs, because as soon as one finds out that we've offered this to one club, then I'm sure that everybody talks to each other and it doesn't reflect well in Shrewsbury Town.
I guess finally as well, I mean, it's a case of watch this space, but the backing's there for Paul, and if he wants people to come in, we'll look to it and see what we can do. Yeah,
no, we're still trying to back him as much as we possibly can. It's up to him to pick the players, and you know, everybody knows what Paul's like about the type of players that he wants, hard-working players who are going to give their all, and the right types as well, and that's really important to Paul. So anything he comes with, you know, we just need to look at the success we've had in the last year and 3 months since he's come into the post, and the players that he's unearthed from all leagues that have done really, really well, and Bode has helped us get to where we are, second in the league at the moment. So, you know, long may that continue, and obviously we'll try and back him as much as we possibly can.